with
My name is Julia. Hey guys, this is Natasha.
¿Qué pasa, y'all? This is Angel.
It's your homeboy Clint Westwood.
What up, y'all? My name's Roy.
La Prensa, Texas.
Órale, ¿qué onda? It's your homeboy Clint Westwood on the beautiful west side of San Antonio. Check it out, man. This is episode 2 of our conversations with Clint. But check it out. Y'all have heard of TED Talks? This isn't going to be Cholo Chat with Clint, all right? This is going to be a new thing.
Let's get it on.
Cholo Chat, that's going to be the new name. Yesterday, the first episode, we didn't figure out a name, but that's what it's going to be from now on, Cholo Chat. I'm here with Joe De La Rosa once again, Sammy Hernandez, and Jeremy Landin. We're going to talk about, I had a few questions. I know we're all from the west side. He was just running for District 5 candidate council in District 5. Yep. What is gentrification and what does that mean to you and what is it, bro?
I'm starting. You want me to give you my answer? Well,
you know more about it than I do, homie.
Gentrification. Look, I looked.
And you told me
I was a fact checker. So I'll tell you. It says the process whereby a poor urban area is changed by wealthier people moving in, improving housing, attracting new businesses, typically displacing current inhabitants. So people coming in, possibly even development coming in, and kicking out residents who are currently there. So that's like the big picture.
Can I just point out the obvious though?
Yes.
I mean, just reading that, I hear negative and positive.
I hear negative at the end. All I heard was removing.
Well, I'm just saying the way that he read it. I mean, like.
Well, it's because he read it kind of positive.
They say improving housing, attracting new businesses. I mean, and you can do those things without kicking out people who live there.
So why do they got to put that in there though?
Who's they?
Who wrote that? Who is they?
Who
is Mr. Gent? Can we get him on the phone? Mr. Fication?
I don't think.
Have you seen that where you live, like in your neighborhood? Because you live in the West Side. You're a homeowner, or you?
I'm a homeowner in the West Side. I live right off of West Houston in Zamora. I don't think I've seen any new developments in my area at all, so I can't say that I've seen that right there. I think the biggest thing that people worry about right now is UTSA's downtown expansion. They're seeing that as the biggest cause for gentrification or possible cause for gentrification. But as that happens, more and more things like that could occur that cause more gentrification. So, yes, it just depends, like where you're at.
Yeah, because I see on my side of town, like I live right there on Hamilton, Guadalupe. The only thing I see new around there is like they're just redoing the diabetes place. It looks like they're making it look nicer, newer. The health center got closed down. Mm-hmm. There's really nothing new coming into my area.
Not in that area.
No. What about you, bro?
I live in deep in the west side by Culebra 1604.
Oh, you live west, man. Like, you live west side.
By El Paso, the city.
There is development right next to where you live. And see, like, that's one of the things you don't always know that
what's
is
going on.
The Westside Creeks project.
But is that outside developers or what?
No, that's the city and the county working to develop the trail there that attaches to Elmendorf Park. Uh-huh. But that's right next to where you live.
But that's considered gentrification?
No, that's considered development, but not all development will lead to gentrification.
Because I live right there by Culebra and Callahan. Mm-hmm. And not even a month ago, they just started this massive project of apartments. Mm-hmm. Brand new, like ritzy type apartments and stuff,
and when that happens, it throws up property taxes around, right?
That's the first thing that happens.
I've heard that new clinic that we got right here on 90 and Couples.
That's the one that one of the candidates for council helped bring.
Yes, Rui Lopez. Mm-hmm. Rui Lopez. I remember when I was at a meet and greet, and he had mentioned that. So I've heard that because of that, though, properties around there have gone up. Property taxes around up. Is that gentrification? Just that itself?
If those property taxes rising causes residents to say, man, we can't afford to pay the taxes here anymore. We got to move and leave somewhere else.
How do we look that up if property taxes went up over there?
I mean, you can pick a random house and look it up on BCAT on the Bexar County Appraisal District, mm-hmm. and see just how much the taxes have gone up. My house, when I bought my house, it was appraised at $100,000. I think now it's appraised at like $140,000, and it's only been 2 years. So my taxes have gone up quite a bit.
Do you protest it year by year?
I haven't protested it at all. Mm-mm. And actually, I never even put my homestead exemption on there. So I'm getting taxed like to the full.
So wait, you can
extent.
protest your taxes?
You can.
See, these are things I don't even know about. This is part of the reason I do these talks is because most of it, I don't know these things. So I'm learning with y'all. If y'all didn't know. So you can protest. Like if I don't want to pay this.
I mean, you got to submit the paperwork. You got to submit it on time. And there's the Bexar County Appraisal District, in my opinion, doesn't even have a methodology for how they're assessing houses and the increase. I've gone once before. This was like 5 years ago when we could actually go into the office and sit there with the persons and have a conversation about the value of your home. And they were telling me how my house was worth whatever amount of dollars and why it had increased. And they ended up looking up on Google Earth my house and saying, "Oh, look, this," and you can't even see inside. Like, what in the world are you talking about? And that's why I say they have no methodology. And I took pictures because, like I was telling you earlier, Sammy, my house was run down. It was a foreclosure. It was beat up on the inside. It was a full renovation on the inside. And so I took pictures and I was like, "Yeah, you got pictures of my roof," and I don't even know what that's telling you, but. Here, look at the inside. You can see the 2x4s. And they're like, "Oh, okay. Well, we're just going to increase it this much then."
Yeah, to me, it's like they don't... There's not actually someone going over there to take a look at the house and say, "Oh, you know what? They did this. They put this as an addition." They just kind of wing it. They said, "Okay, this address, okay."
Wow.
Well, no, you know what they do, right? They just do an across-the-board increase.
Yeah,
And then they wait to see who's going to fight them on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they just increase the whole area.
Yeah, the whole city.
The whole city. Not the area, the whole city.
The whole city at one time.
Every single house.
And whoever doesn't contest it doesn't contest it.
Right.
Regardless of what you make, where you
Yeah. It's like the apartments that they're building right there, some massive apartments. And it was a property that was empty for many years, and that as soon as I saw that there was apartments going up, and I said, "Man, the taxes are going to go up." Sure enough, And then we started getting letters, and I said, "Well, it's kind of unfair because the house hasn't changed.
Yeah,
the house is still the same. There's no additions or anything like that to improve the house, the value of the house to X amount of dollars, like what they think it's worth." And I think that is true, where they just go like through the whole block and say, "All right, these 2 blocks we're just gonna raise," or the whole city and raise it like this, and whoever contests it.
But let me ask this question real quick. Maybe you can help me out, Jeremy. So if taxes don't increase, I mean, obviously year over year, whether the Bureau of Labor Statistics says there's inflation or not, like federal government says there's inflation or not, prices of things go up year over year, right? If we don't pay those taxes, if we don't have increases, then how is the county or the city gonna get money to fix our streets and fix infrastructure and do all these other things?
The people in power need to stop getting their bonuses and maybe use that.
Well, that's when they...
Maybe the campaign funds that these people raise all this money for, the campaign funds. And dude, I was researching some of these people, how they raise their contributions. Some people spend way more than they get in contributions. They spend way more. And then I see some of the contributions they get, all these political people, all these people running, where does that money go to? Does that much go on the sides?
Hey, you
like to put on the thing?
You got me right here.
Where does the money go to?
I out fundraised every candidate in the District 5 race. Well, they probably out fundraised me now because they're still the two that
they're still going. Yeah.
But I raised about $33,000 in 4.5 months, 5 months, I think. And it does. It literally. And you can see it. It's all public. There's maybe about 10 to 12,000 on signs, just signs alone. And you can, of course, again, you can see all of this online. It's all public knowledge. But you pay for your field director. You pay for all the literature, all the papers that you hand out. When you're ordering like 20 or 30, 10, 12 bucks. When you're ordering 15,000, you're looking at a couple $1,000s, So it adds up real quick. It's gone. By the time you know it, it's gone. So I spent all 33,000 of the 33,000. It's gone. It's just gone. So
is it required that you have to spend that money, or like
So you are
Like during your running, like you're gonna run, right? Like I'm gonna run. Let's say I raise 30,000 in between that runoff, like you just did, and let's say I only spent 15, so I got 15 left. Let's say I don't win. What happens to that 15 that's left over?
There are things you can do with it. You can return it. You can give it back to the people
everybody
who
that
donated
give it to you.
But I don't understand. I don't personally understand how do you figure out who to divvy it up to, right?
Hey, I gave you 5,000.
Yeah, right. You can give it back. You can donate it to a nonprofit. You can hold it and continue to report it in case you plan to run for office again. You can use it. You
can hold it like a saving and just keep it there until I run again.
You cannot use it for personal and anything. You just have to hold on to it and keep reporting that you have it. So there's lots of things that end up happening with it, but it gets used. It's used fast. It's used up fast. They recommend when I asked how much is it going to cost me. 50, 60,000. That's what we expect. 50 to 60,000
to run a good.
And that's in District 5. In other districts.
Oh, the north side. How was it? The north side
could be more. Could be less.
Thousands.
Could be more. Could be less.
And who's supposed to take down all those signs once they're done?
Because
I used to work for a sign. No, I used to work for one of those companies.
They have little devil drawings on them.
Worms. We're supposed to take them down, but there's some people who like. I have my signs up at some people's houses, and they don't want me to take it. They leave the sign there. It's your property, private property. You can leave it if you want to leave it.
Yeah.
So they leave them up, and then I'll get phone calls. Hey, your sign's still up at this house. I said, I know. They asked for the sign. I said, okay.
Ay, ¿qué te importa? Your sign's still up. ¿Y qué? You want one too? I'll take it to you.
They're calling you private. Anonymous.
They send you a screenshot on Messenger, the picture.
But no, it gets used. It gets used.
Who knows? Maybe in 5 years I might run for the Westside City Council. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
why would you wait 5 years?
Because I want to learn more about this. I know, dude. I'm gonna run and do what? Free tacos for everybody. Free Cortezes and long socks. Long socks and Cortezes for all the West Side.
You think that everybody that has represented every city council district in this city has known exactly what they're doing?
No. No. Hey, right. I might have a good chance.
No. You just need a good team.
Yeah. Good team. Good team and popular, right? Just be popular.
That's not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
That's what it looks like sometimes. Like who's more popular, who's out there more, who's.
Name,
that's what it looks like.
Name recognition.
Name recognition. I think that's it. A lot
but
of
who doesn't know Clint Westwood?
Some of it. A lot of people don't know who I am, bro. Name recognition. How do you think that falls into play? Like, to me personally, name recognition. Okay, like you have father, son, primo, cousin, sister.
Ooh,
all the same names.
I mean, that comes
look
to
at
mind.
District 3. That's Rebecca Villagran's sister.
Her sister, now her sister.
And
now.
then Tomas Oresti.
What do you think about that? So, like legacy, family legacies. Right? Like, to me, that's like a family, like a dictatorship almost. Hey, to me, that's how I look at it. Like, I ran the West Side now. I'm about to leave, so you know what? I want my brother in there so I can, hey, brother, hey, run, wait, I'll help you out. Wait, I got you.
I don't necessarily see it that way.
I do.
I mean, I think that you have to look at what the individual stands for, and not only that, but what have been their actions. You know, what have they done? Is it somebody that's fresh and hasn't really done much? You know, what do they stand for? What are they talking about? But if it's somebody that's established and they've done things in the community and that's in alignment with what your values are, then you might vote for that person.
When I run, it's going to be free margaritas and tacos on Tuesdays for everybody that votes for me. That's what I stand for.
Got my vote.
I agree. I agree with Joe.
Margarita Palooza or
a Clinarita?
Yeah.
No, I mean, part of it, I'm playing devil's advocate. Like, I don't say, that somebody should or shouldn't, and the family's been in this district or this area.
I just feel like when it's family after family after the same family over and over and over, I feel like it gets it's too conflict of interest. Like, like I ran now, my primo's there, my sister's there, so whatever I wanted, I can still get them to do whatever. Like, to me, I feel like that's
what that tells me?
That there's too much power, bro. Like, to me, that's too much power for one family.
You know what that tells me?
What?
Is that the same people are going to vote,
And
the same people are not going to vote.
True.
That's what that tells me.
That is a big problem in our community. You know, we love to talk about, hey, that my mother do. My mother will badmouth every politician. And Mom, are you going to go vote? No, ¿por qué? Then why are you
Van a
talking
ganar
about
como quiera.
Yeah.
It's rigged anyway.
Yeah, no. I think we need to get out of that mentality.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of us need to get out of that mentality. And we have that mentality so strong that we don't trust nobody.
Yeah.
They can tell us, they'll give us this, and we're still like, nah. I'm not going to waste my time. That's what it feels like.
When was the last time you voted, Sammy?
Oh man, it's been years.
So you didn't even vote for this last elections? Not in the presidential, nothing?
No.
You said forget. You're like, none of them.
There were people that I'd call. I'd cold call and say, hey, you know, this is Jeremy Landine. I'm running for council. I'd like your vote. No, we don't vote for y'all. I said,
For y'all. Y'all.
He said, we don't vote for council. We just vote for president. That's it. That's all we vote. We just vote president. I said, okay, that's cool. I'd call other people. Same thing. We just vote for president. When I used to work for Bexar County elections, I worked there as a technician on the days of the election. And sometimes voters would come up to you and say, I just want to vote for president. I don't want to do this one, get railroad commissioner and all that. I just want to vote for president. That's it.
I just want to pass go.
Or people would tell me, mijo, I'm just going to pick all the ones with Mexican last names. That's it.
I've heard someone tell me that.
All the way through. And I didn't believe it. And that's what they would do.
I've heard someone tell me that when I was learning on the first time I voted, I was asking advice, from different people. I had one person tell me, "Oh, I just pick anybody with the Mexican last name, and if they don't have a Mexican last name, I'll pick the woman or a Democrat." Like a lot of that's how you figure.
Well, they.
Wow.
Hey, it sounds like to me they got a better methodology than BCAD.
Yeah, so I mean, the same. Even where you are on the ballot, someone called me the other day and said, "Did you know that if you're first on the ballot, you're more likely to get like 10% more than
just because
you're
a quick. I want to get this over with.
Ballot fatigue.
Voter apathy.
Just pick it because it's right there on the Levanos.
First one
just
on
pick
there.
that one. Just pick that one.
But look at the
Like a lotto sheet. Can I do a quick pick and y'all just pick?
Can you scan this?
Do they have quick picks?
Give me five. And
Do they have quick picks when you vote?
You can sign for someone to come and help you.
What?
You can sign for someone to come and help you.
Okay, I did hear about that.
I did
hear about that.
What do you mean by help?
They're
Like read it,
come
right?
And like help read
Read
it.
it,
And
or,
like,
yeah.
make
Show-
it
yeah.
for
Well, you
you.
see me wearing glasses, right? My daughter went with me to go vote in the presidential election, and I didn't have them. And it just she loves me to death. I love her to death. She was holding my arm. We walked in or whatever. And they told me, "Oh, sir, your ID, your driver's license is different from what we have on record. So it's got to match. You got to have something that matches, right?" And they said, "You need to fill out this card so that we got the right address." And I said, "Okay." Dude, the card was like probably about twice as big as this. And it just looked like black. Like you couldn't even read the letters. It was so small. And I told her, you know what? I can't even see. And she was like, "Oh, sir, we have, you're visually impaired."
Oh, no.
I mean, I am, but
Don't make me still say it out loud.
like, thanks a lot. But my daughter was holding my arm, walking me through the library.
She should have said, "I guide him."
Did you
That's
forget
what
your
it
cane?
looked like. So they put me on the screen and they had big letters. I was like, yeah.
Mija, he forgot his cane.
Magnify 100%.
Well, the funny thing is, after that, it seemed like they stopped talking to me and started talking to her. Yeah, and they're like, have him do this, have him sign here, walk him out that way.
No, we know he's disabled.
Does he know English? Okay. Yeah, give me a break.
She's gonna hold your hand while you write. You're like this. Say right here, Dad. Right here.
Daddy, you're left-handed.
No, but I hope I don't get your age.
But you know what? You know what that is, though? You know what that is? Me teaching my daughter civic engagement.
Yeah, I got you. Taking
That's
it to
what
the
that is.
polls.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I haven't taken.
Because you know what we need? If we want things to change the way we envision them in our city, then we need to help our people that have the same, like I said, values, get in those
positions. Yeah, true. There's
So
a lot of people.
Don't
that
wait
have,
the 5 years.
There's a lot of people that get in these positions and they say they have values, they say they have this, and I do understand. Maybe like you get in there and you have all this, you want to do this, you want to do that, but then you get in there and you realize like, man, I can't do that the way I want to do it. Right? You got to play ball, right, with some of these people.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes. Bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get involved in politics, bro?
How did I get involved in politics?
What made you want to say, you know what, I'm going to run for the Westside?
I remind people, and now I'm able to say it more freely, but I'm only 25. So when people say, oh, how'd you get involved in politics? I'm like, most people don't get involved in politics until their 30s or 40s.
Well, see, I don't know how to ask the question. How did you get interested in politics?
I was interested since, well, probably since I worked at the city. I used to work at the city, and I just saw so much going on, and I always was interested in how things worked, and had experience like asking some of those questions when I was in school at St. Mary's, and so I said I want to understand, I want to get more involved, I want to be there, and then I moved on to working for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and that's another side. That's not the city, but it's very political in its role, right? Because they're advocating for businesses and for policy and things like that, and so I was seeing all this stuff at a young age, you know, and that's why I think if they were to, and when I say they, I'm talking like the either the city, the schools, the school districts, you know, if folks were to just find a way to get people who are not usually around politics or around small business development or around it, they're not dumb, you know, students, kids. They're not dumb. They pick up. They're like sponges, you know. They just pick up everything. Just put them in there. Let them see it. Let them be around it. Let them be in those conversations where, you know, it's like, and we come from Mexicano households, you know, like my grandma and mom would be like, hey, don't be listening to the adults' conversation. No, let them listen to a little bit of you know, if y'all are talking about what you're voting for, who you're voting for, policies, propositions, let them listen to it. It's not adult conversation, because then they'll be asking those questions later on, you know. I was told don't listen, and I listened. And I asked questions.
I was told not to listen, and I've never listened. I'm 40 years old trying to listen now. I get the fact.
Yeah, so that's what I always tell. Every time I hear someone's parent, and I'm talking with them, and they say, "No, mijo, don't listen to adult conversations." I tell them, "No, let them listen." Like that way, they start to hear it, and they're like, "What are they talking about?" You know.
That's actually good in my eyes, because then, you know, we're so accustomed and used to, like the old ways where hey, don't listen to, but
go to the kids' table.
Knowledge is power, man, and we have to, as you know, our raza and everything, we gotta break that cycle. You know, we're always stuck in a cycle, and in my eyes, that we're always, you know, we have to get out of our element. You know, think bigger and better for.
But it's funny to me, like, I look at it now and I say, oh, I'm 25, I own a house, I ran for council, I did this, right? All these things. And people say, man, that's awesome, that's great. But think about 60 years ago. Our grandparents...
You had a house 16, you had a house by 16, a business at 15.
You didn't have a car, you didn't have 3
family
jobs.
And kids.
You were behind, you know? So me at 25, this is like awesome to some people. I'm like, no, I'm behind compared to the way it was 50 years ago. You know,
my grandpa came from Mexico at 13, had a business by 16, had a house by 18.
Set, ready to go.
Done,
you know, and their kids were working by 10 years old.
No, but I got like, I don't know how many tios and tias do. My mom has a lot of brothers and sisters. A big family.
We need to be amazed by that history of our culture, not by, you know, me at 25 doing it. Like, think about
it's a different culture. You know, that era. You know, it's like grandparents. In my opinion, I don't think that era would never be repeated.
Nope.
Because the hard-working Mexicanos and, you know, our people, they came from Mexico. Even my grandparents came from Monterrey and stuff, but they busted their ass every day.
Yeah, but I tell people, I was 10 years old. My mom handed me the lawnmower, closed the door, and said, don't come back until it's dirty.
Yeah.
I said, dude, it's dirty. I didn't understand. I was 10 years old.
Dude,
and I was running there. Well, I went walking. I said, dude, it's dirty. What does she mean to it's dirty? I came back and she said, it's not dirty. I said, what do you mean? She's like, you have to cut enough yards for those wheels to be stuck from the mud and for it to be dirty. I thought she was crazy. And sure enough, I started cutting yards. I got my first phone. I was 10 years old. You know, and I've had a phone ever since then. So I think, like, we can aspire to. We'll never repeat that generation, but we can aspire to be.
I think a lot of parents have gotten lazy with their kids and they don't teach them. It's a lot easier to give a crying child a phone and here entertain yourself with a phone or a tablet than interact with them to show them, hey, dude, I didn't grow up with no fucking phone. I didn't grow up with shit.
Or for me, my mom said you had a phone.
You were bored. You were bored. So get outside. You're bored. Get outside. You're bored. I'll give you something to do. It wasn't no. I think this is what it is. A lot of kids now, they grow up and they understand. If I'll get this, I can cry, whatever. I don't have to do it. I'll get this. And I think that trains them to, as they get older, like, why do I have to do that? Busy. I have a neighbor, bro. Oh man, I don't even want to talk. I have a neighbor. I cut the neighbor's yard, and I feel bad because she has she has a son there that's like 14, 15 years old. And one time I even told her, like, I have a lawnmower and weed eater. I'll lend you the lawnmower and weed eater for your son to cut the yard. Oh no, because he did. I'm like,
no sabe.
I'll show him. Like,
hey, she goes, I like the way you do it.
I like the way you pay me, so I will do it. But yeah, I think it's more. Yeah,
it's
kids
just
are lazy.
the values that within parents, it's different.
Parents,
you know?
the parents.
Yeah,
parents.
because like when we were growing up, man, we didn't have anything as far as
your parents
technology.
had to kind of.
We didn't have game consoles. We went outside and played the whole summer. You know, from as soon as the sun comes up to the sun sets, you know, we're always outside, and it was different. You know, and they actually, you know. Man, we used to go to different blocks and play with the other kids and play with the other kids, and it's not like that anymore. You know, it's nowadays it's totally different.
I used to live right there on Commerce and Panuco. There's a McDonald's and Lisa's by Burleson Elementary.
Dude, that's where I grew up.
That's where I grew up. I went to Burleson. I went to Burleson. Really? Yeah, and Rhodes. So my mom, right? She would tell me, you can only ride your bike to the Valero. But I would be at Our Lady of the Lake, casi downtown, bro. At like 6, 7 years old, bro.
Don't listen. Cabrón, te dije. All right, Rosedale.
We would ride the ditch.
Yeah.
We would follow the ditch.
Yeah,
We would follow the ditch all the way to Rosedale. Or follow, dude.
We used to go, like, even skateboards or bikes and stuff. We used to go to downtown and go
watching Selena.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it was different, man. But those were like real good times. Nowadays, they're so stuck and focused on game consoles, and there's no interaction. You know, like at the dinner tables, if you go out to eat anywhere, you know,
everybody's like that.
Yeah, everybody's on their phone.
But I'm on my phone. How do you get away from it?
Put it on mute.
You gotta train yourself to an hour a day or 2 hours a day. Weekends, I try not to, especially when I'm around my kids. I try my hardest. Dude, my son will call me out quick. My son will call me out because I had told him, and you know how kids will remind you of what you told them or promised them. Yeah. So I told my son, look, mijo, you know, when daddy's call me out.
Until this day, I used to do that a lot. You know, where I would have paid like, my son will be talking, I'll be on the phone. Yeah. You know, we do that. It
does that. Yeah.
But so like on the weekends, man, like especially on Sundays, I focus that's nonstop with the kids, and I'm not talking about game. Okay, we're going to the park, get a little, you know, a little bit of sun. You know, we'll go to the park, ride bikes or whatever the case. Every Sunday,
cruise the lake.
Yeah, no, sometimes, yeah, but it's just that type of interaction, and it goes a long ways because till this day, even my kids that are teenagers. I remember my dad used to take us to the zoo, you know, all the time. We used to always do this type of activities. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that kind of goes a long way, that type of memory and stuff.
And, you know, I got different, you know, family members, some that, you know, their kids are stuck to the phone, some that can't afford phones, you know, whatever. Yeah. So I can sympathize with both sides. Like I got a 12-year-old daughter. I got a 3-year-old daughter. My 12-year-old has no phone, you know, to this day. And I see her walking home from school, and, you know, her friends are walking home, and, you know, they're walking home down the street like this. And my daughter's just, you know, holding her backpack. You know, she doesn't have a phone.
And it's funny you say that, man, because my 14-year-old daughter doesn't have a phone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then sometimes, I mean, you have to, as a parent, you have to set your ground rules. Hey, man, this, and this, or we start taking stuff away. But I think nowadays that the parents, they lack some type of discipline.
Parents don't know how to say no. A lot of parents don't know how to tell their kids
exactly,
no.
Man.
Or if I tell my kid no, it means I don't love him.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that excuse too. No, I can't tell them no because I want to. Yeah, I want to give my kids what they want too, but not everything they want is what's going to be good for them.
And I think that's in a way, in my personal opinion, man. Everybody raises their children how they want, but my personal opinion, I think would disable them to not have their minds grow, because they are like sponges. They absorb everything, but it's up to the parents to what do you want them to absorb? All the crap that you see on the internet and all this social media and all that stuff. Because man, I see kids like very disrespectful. Like you go to the grocery store and and I hate that, because like man, if my kids would talk to me like that, man, I guarantee you, man, I catch a case, No, but there's some if I ever talk to my grandparents like that or my mom, back in the day, dude, palo, cabrón, pinche chanclazo.
Go get the switch. Go get a switch.
Hey, go get a rama.
Go get a rama. Go get a switch.
Yeah, and
go pick a branch, mijo.
Get one that you like.
Dude, I remember I got hit one time because I didn't have clean clothes, and it was the summer, and I was like 6 years old. I didn't know how to wash clothes. All I had was sweats. So I put sweats on. That's all I had. I put sweats on, and I ran outside. My tios, they all, it's too hot for that. Look at him. They whooped my. I grew up where my tios and my tias hit me too. My tias disciplined me, dog. I grew up in that environment too, where it was a family.
But I think, and it's not like the abuse, but it's like the discipline that what people lack, especially Mexicanos, bro. Because that type of discipline grows you grow into a different type of person. Nowadays, they get away with murder, dog.
Bro, God.
And then, like, if you go to a grocery store, like, I hear kids, hey, F you, and they're cursing at the parents, dude. I'm like, damn, man.
And their biggest
but what is it? What is it about growing up in different areas that, is it everywhere? I've never once spanked my 12-year-old daughter. Yeah. And she's a really good kid.
I've never spanked my kids, and my kids are awesome, bro.
Yeah.
I use timeout. When my kids were 2 years old, I used timeout. And I had to do this for about a month, 2 months straight. My daughter was not that hard. My daughter was pretty good. Like, she would do things here and there, but she learned quick. My daughter learned quick.
Why did we get spanked, though?
I don't know. I thought I was a good. My son on the other hand, my son, when he hit his twos, the terrible twos, bro, he would throw tantrums, throw fits. So for 2 months straight, when he would do something wrong, I would correct him. I'd tell him, I'd get after him. I would show him timeout. Of course, he's not gonna want to go. I would have to physically hold my son, sit down, and just look at him, just like that, and hold him. Kicking, screaming, tirando temper, and then the next day he would do something wrong, go to timeout. Yeah, I go grab him and I'd sit him there, and I'd hold him until he would calm down. After a month of doing that, as soon as I would tell him, "Hey, go to timeout,"
training him.
Dad, I'm not crying no more. Are you done? Yes, sir. Do you know what you did? Yes, sir. But I would talk to him when I would sit there. I would talk to him. You're not gonna get up. You're not gonna get up. You're not gonna get up. But they absorbed. He learned. He learned quick after a month. After a month, dude, he learned. And dude, by 4 or 5 years old, if they did anything, they really wouldn't.
Yeah.
But if they would, I would just look at them and I would tell them, "You want to go to?" "No, sir." "Okay, well, fix yourself." "Okay, that was it."
And I think like your question goes, well, why did they hit us? I got they should have caught a case back then. But the difference, I think now, like in our age, we're a little bit more. How can I say? We have a little bit more patience,
probably,
than them. Our grandparents and our parents and our tias and tios, because man, they were loud, bro. They were quick to throw you a chancla or something, dude.
Yeah.
But nowadays, by that learning experience, we have, I think, we have a little bit more patience. We know what to look for because we already been there and done that.
Yeah.
And then when our kids start doing, I don't spend my kids. There's no reason, there's no point in it, in my eyes.
Yeah.
I goes, because if you spank them, it's going to go away. That's just temporary, You got to, take something away or something.
It's like being in the principal's office in middle school.
Yeah, back in the day, dude, we used to get paddles, man.
I got
they used to drill the holes in there.
I got paddled in 2nd and 3rd grade, bro. I got paddled. Well, There y'all have it, man. So if y'all can learn anything from this is discipline y'all's kids.
Have more patience.
Have more patience and discipline your kids, man. Look, thank y'all for joining us, man. We've been here talking for a while. I love this conversation. We started off with gentrification, and we somehow just manifested into
That's how it goes, brother.
to some discipline your kids. Don't sell out to rich people that are not from here. Invest in the hood. Vote for Clint Westwood 2022. But yeah, man, thank y'all for watching Cholo Chat with Clint and his compas. That's it, man.
Till next time.
Till next time. Te guacho. A rato.